Hi guys, will the Tories never learn? You won't win elections by trying to beat Nigel Farage at his own game. While it's expected that the extreme right in the Conservative Party, people like Kemi Badenoch or Suella Braverman, will ignore issues like the cost of living crisis and the problems facing the NHS and instead focus primarily on immigration, I honestly believe that so-called centrists or one nation Tories, as they're sometimes described, would provide an alternative view. No, I was wrong. When Nigel Farage says jump, every Tory who wants to be leader replies with how high.
Country again.
OK, let's talk about some of the things you've spoken about. In the Telegraph, there's a piece, obviously, that you've written, and you've spoken about leaving the European Convention on Human Rights. How can you sell that to the British public if you were to become leader of the Conservative Party?
So what I've been very clear about is the reality that over the last few years we have failed to deliver. You know, it's not a secret to say that we failed to deliver on the migrant numbers, and we can see that time and time again. And we need to have every option on the table. And what I'm clear about is that this is about making sure the institutions that we're part of work for the British people. Now, there are many institutions that we're part of, some of which are recent, some of which are older. And we need to be absolutely clear that the ones that we are members of deliver for the British people, and where they don't, they can be reformed. Maybe we can derogate, as I've been calling for on the ECHR since 2013. Or indeed, if it needs to, we should leave them. Because this is about delivering for the British people. This is about restoring trust and making sure that we deliver on the policies, the priorities of the British people, and we're able to serve our great country.
Is the European Convention on Human Rights a bad thing?
No, but it's something that was passed in 1951, and our British Parliament has changed remarkably in the last 4 weeks. Many other things have changed in the last.
Why is it good enough for the UK then?
I'm sorry, forgive me, Naga, I couldn't hear.
Sorry, why is it good enough for other European countries but not for the UK then?
That's not what I've said. What I've said is that we need to look clear-eyed at all the institutions that the UK is a member of, and we need to make sure that they serve the interests of the British people. And I think that's a very simple test that we should be applying to every single organisation that we're a part of. Because the point about all these institutions is they're there to serve the prosperity and happiness of the British people. They're there to keep us safe. And there are many different institutions around the world, some of which worked 100 years ago and don't work today, others which worked a few months ago and don't work today. And we need to make sure we're constantly reviewing what it is that serves the interests of the great British people, because this is about delivery. This is about restoring trust. When we don't deliver, when we don't have the trust of the British people, we lead to the kind of electoral results that you've just seen. So we need to be absolutely clear-eyed. We need to be absolutely at the service of the British people, and that's what I'm saying.
Oh my goodness. Did they not learn anything from 2016? Did they not learn anything from the last election? Listening to Nigel Farage, trying to out Nigel Farage. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And as I said at the beginning, this was sort of expected from Kemi Badenoch and Suella Braverman, the crazies in the party. Tom Tugendhat is supposed to be the adult in the room. He's supposed to be the moderate. He's supposed to be the intelligent one. But he's doing exactly the same as the others. I want to be leader, so I have to pander to the extremes in the Conservative Party, or pander to Nigel Farage. Once again, we're talking about this because Nigel Farage stood up in the House of Commons a few days ago and said, I want a referendum on the European Court of Human Rights, or the European Convention on Human Rights. So as soon as Nigel Farage says jump, the Tories say how high. It's absolutely ridiculous. Have they not learned anything? He mentioned here failing to deliver. He never mentioned in what way the convention is not serving the British people. Just, if it's not serving, okay, give us an example of how it's not serving the British people. Because like in 2016, if something fails to deliver, if there's a failure to deliver, who did they blame? Well, in 2016, it was the EU. Now it's, we're not delivering. Who do we blame? The European Convention on Human Rights. We left the EU to fix problems. That didn't fix problems. Well, let's leave the European Convention on Human Rights to fix problems. And, of course, he can't identify any problems here. Just that it's out of date or that it's old. The Tories have learned nothing since 2016. Pandering to the crazies in the party. Pandering to Nigel Farage. And this is a real head scratcher because, as I said at the beginning, you're expecting this from the crazies in the party, pandering to Farage, but not the so-called moderates. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.